All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Healthy, Happy Living in the Spotlight series. My name is Stephanie Hinkstenberg, as you know, and I am so grateful that you are here today to learn about what Mimi or Miriam, which one do you prefer?
Mimi's good.
Mimi's good. What Mimi does and how she might be able to help you, but more importantly, who she is and why she does what she does. You know, I've been networking a lot in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, and have met some really incredible people. So the reason for this video and for this interview is to introduce you to those incredible people as well, so that you have the resources should you need them. And what I'm finding is that it's not just about the resource and what these folks offer, but also they're just really great, cool people. So I want you to know who they are. So today with us, we have Mimi Thompson of Therapeutic Performance Solutions. And she does some really amazing work with people, but it's not just about an injury or just about one specific thing. I really believe that she sees a person and what's going on with them in a holistic perspective. So that's something that I certainly align with too. So welcome. And
Thank you.
why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit, tell people a little bit about who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my real name is Miriam. I go by Mimi.
Yeah.
I am a physical therapist, and I've been a physical therapist for, going on 21 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how fast it is all gone, but it has been an amazing journey. I see patients in their homes.
Okay.
I travel from home to home. I don't have an office. I find that I can connect better with people when they are in their own environment.
Mm.
Um, and so what I do, I treat a broad group of injuries or conditions, from injuries to medical problems. And I also see patients who just need wellness training. I have quite a few fitness patients who I see mostly and almost all at home with all the things that are going on in this world right now. I have been doing some FaceTime visits, etc. But really, my goal is to connect with people at the level where they are and take them to their next level,
That's
whether
very
it be
important.
for fitness, whether it be healing an injury, whether it be not falling when they're walking, whatever it is.
Right. That's very, very important. I think that people really need that. And I love that you go to their homes, because that, then you're seeing exactly what their environment looks like and can help
Exactly.
them in the space that they're at. So I really love that. So let's skip ahead a little bit, or skip behind, I guess you would say. Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and have lived in many cities since then. Grew up in Pittsburgh, went to school in Pittsburgh, and from there went to New York City, worked at NYU Medical Center for a while, and then from there went to DC, where I taught at Howard University for a couple years.
Wow.
Got married and moved to California, where I worked at a hospital, different settings, and now started my own business there. In California to Illinois, Illinois to Georgia, and we've been in Texas for 6 years.
Wow. You've been all over the place. Wow. So you're in Texas and up here north near me. So in the Frisco area, right?
Yep, I
So
live in McKinney, on the
oh, McKinney.
McKinney-Frisco
Okay.
border.
Do you service the whole Metroplex, or do you stay close, or where do you
You know,
prefer?
I travel mostly to McKinney, Frisco, Allen, Plano, Salina, Melissa, Prosper. I
Got it.
have gone into Carrollton, but I don't go down into Dallas or.
Right. So northeastern
Yes.
situation. Got it. Wonderful. Well, okay. So this is my fun. I love asking this question. So what do you think is one of your superpowers?
You know, that was that's a hard one, because yeah, it's hard. It's hard to kind of think about what you're really good at.
True.
But I think one of the things that it comes to my mind is adaptability. I think that's
Okay.
one of my superpowers. And I think because I have lived in so many different places and worked in so many different settings, and see so many different types of patients from every demographic, socioeconomic group, and having to be able to constantly adapt to their surroundings, adapt to what's important, adapt to what's in the home or not in the home. It doesn't really faze me when I have to kind of switch things at the last minute to be like, oh, okay, well, we need to shift our goals and we need to shift this, and this is how we need to do it.
I love that. I love that. I think that adaptability is a superpower that if more people had that, there would be a lot less stress in the world, in my opinion. I think that, people could breathe a little bit better if they would be able to adapt a little bit better. So I love that superpower about you. So what have you found that you love about this particular time in our lives when we're finding ourselves living at home and working at home and all of that? What do you find that you love about it?
It's giving me time I usually, with 2 children, to keep a pretty busy schedule. And so I think one of the favorite things that's been happening is we're spending more time together as a family, but I'm able to also spend more time thinking about myself and realigning my thoughts and my goals and slowing down and not making it about somebody else all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's been really, really important. And I think that transitions into being able to help my clients better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot pour from an empty cup.
That's right.
There's a reason that they tell us to put our oxygen masks on ourselves before we help our kids on a plane. All those things are very important. So that's wonderful that you've been able to find that self-care is very, very important right now. Okay. So what is one of your all-time favorite accomplishments so far?
Well, I guess I kind of have to break that up a little bit because there's your personal accomplishments, right? I mean, and obviously, I think I've got 2 wonderful, beautiful children who keep me going, and I think that watching them grow and what great people they're becoming, that's a huge accomplishment for me.
Agreed.
But professionally, I have a doctorate in physical therapy. And my class my graduating class was the second one in the United States to graduate with a doctorate degree in physical therapy, a DPT. And my claim to fame is that I'm the first African-American doctor of physical therapy in the United States. So
I think that is amazing.
I'm pretty proud of that.
Wow. That's really, really cool. Yeah. You're the only one that can say that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love that. Okay, well then why is it that you maybe not chose physical therapy, but why is it that you strive to be the best at what you do?
That's also an interesting question because in my mind, I really don't think that you can ever be the best. I think you can just be better. And you continue to get better by continuing to educate yourself and educate your clients and educate the people around you. And so I don't know that I could ever just really strive to be the best physical therapist because there's always something to learn and always something to share. And it's just going to make me better.
Which ironically is probably why you're one of the best there. Because, those that, when you're striving, that does mean that you are learning, you're continuing to grow, you're continuing to bring value to your clients and to yourself and to your family. And so I think that's one of the best qualities you can have. Do you have a success story from your work that you'd like to share with us? Or your favorite?
Well, I don't know that I have. Yeah, I don't know that I have one particular patient that sticks out because when I look at my clients, and I have to call them clients and not patients, when I look at my clients, I think every one of them is a success story because they're there to learn something. They're there to grow from where they were. Having somebody who has not sat on the edge of the bed for 3 years and has done it with me, to some could seem like not a huge success, but for that person, it was huge. And so whereas the other person here, their goal might have been to run a marathon, and it helped them through that training. That could be a success story. So I think with every patient, there's always success in that I'm hoping that I'm teaching them how to make themselves better or reach their goals.
That's awesome. I can only imagine the feeling for not only you, but your clients when those things happen. I mean, I can only equate it right now to maybe some accomplishment that my kids have, or that, I mean, I do what I do. I do have clients that reach goals and milestones, and that's really exciting too. So I know that feeling of accomplishment there.
And I'm that therapist that can't sit quietly. I do the yelling and shouting, and I do crying right along with them. And yeah.
That's great. That's great. That just lifts everything up. That just makes the vibration even higher in the room and makes everything better. So that's wonderful. Now, I tend to, I use this word just because it's familiar to people, but failure means a lot of different things to a lot of folks. So is there a particular failure or some, challenge that you've experienced in your life that you feel like allowed you to grow, and one in particular that stuck with you?
This goes back a little bit to what's going on in today with the quarantine. Ever since I was a kid, I have always had, every year I write down goals, right? My whole life is goals. I write down yearly goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals. And I've done that since I was a kid, and I follow through and I look at the different goals and figure out how to get there. And sometimes it's a straight path, and sometimes it kind of goes like this. And I've translated that into doing that with my patients as well, is that when we sit down, we talk about goals. What are your goals? When you get a group of patients or a high number of patients, and you're constantly looking at your goal, at their goals, their particular goals, and you're trying to figure out how to meet them, I have oftentimes lost sight of my own goals and where I want to be, and what's needed to get there. And so I think that's one of the failures or things that I've had to learn and had time to learn during this quarantine process, is to go back and look at and say, hey, all of your clients' goals are super, super important, but your goals are too. And you've got to, if you can meet your goals, you're going to help them meet their goals. So taking time to do that. That's something that I really learned over the last 2 months, because these 2 months that I've been at home has been the longest time I've not worked since I was 16 years old. So it's been giving me a lot of time to self-reflect. And
that's awesome. That's awesome. There's so many people that could choose to take this time to shut down, or to get super, super negative, or, to just stir or stew in the forced space that you're in. So I think it's really wonderful that you were able to spin that and say, listen, I realize that I have not necessarily looked at my own stuff in a while. So again, that's another one of those failures turned, it's not really, it's a good thing to learn from.
My vision board is looking great, and working towards it. And I'm doing, wonderful things like this, and being able to talk to people and learning more about other people's businesses. And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's true. I love a good vision board. Oof, man, I didn't really even know what those were until a couple of years ago. I was like, what? Because I think that there have been things in my life that I've manifested without knowing that I was manifesting. But a good old vision board is very, very powerful stuff. That's awesome. Well, what is one of the things that's on there?
Yes, yes. Oh gosh. Well, I keep it right here in my office, and I've got a lot of different things, from personal travel to taking time to read, taking time, let's say I'm going to looking at some, things for love and forgiveness with myself and others, taking a chance on something different. I've always had therapeutic, one time it was Therapeutic Solutions. I've always had my own business, even as I've worked with different organizations, but I never really advertised or tried to get my name out there. It was just more of word of mouth. And this year I decided, I said, you know what, I'm going to get my website going. I'm going to start networking more, and I'm just going to take a chance on me, because I really think I probably have some good information that people can use. So
yeah, I agree, which is why we are talking today. Absolutely.
yeah.
Our little internet connection is unstable, is what it's telling me. Lovely. Well, good. Well, how can people find you if they are interested or want to know how to get in touch with you or how to connect with you?
They can get on my personal Facebook page. It's Miriam Thompson. They can get on my Therapeutic Performance Solutions Facebook page. I have a website. It's called youneedpt.com. So that's pretty easy. You can email me at miriam.tpspt@gmail.com.
Awesome.
There's tons of ways to get a hold of me. Yeah,
lots
absolutely.
of ways. Well, when we close this out and I put it back onto the Facebook page, make sure you go back in and write all those things down so that people know exactly, I could try it, but I might spell it wrong. So go ahead and go back in and put everything there so that people can get in touch with you immediately if they want to. But guys, this is a lovely, lovely person with a beautiful heart, and I know that she can do really great things. So if you are needing that physical therapy, this is a great way to start. So, well, thank you so much, Mimi, for being on with me today. I really appreciate it. Again, I think I'm gonna just revamp this whole thing, and we'll just record all of them ahead of time. I want to do it live so badly, but the Facebook people are not wanting me to do that. And I don't know if I can upgrade my phone to what it needs to be right now in order to get that done. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been lovely. And
thank you, Stephanie.
You have a great day, and everybody out there, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.